Okay, so part three of the video series, Bernardo's training versus high school weight rooms. Again, I'm doing this video series because one of the biggest questions I get from prospective athletes and their parents is, like, what's the difference between your training and just going to the high school weight room for free? So, video one was about coaching and programming. That's probably the biggest difference. Then it was culture, which is huge. It's very overlooked part of it, who you're surrounding yourself with. And then the third part is going to be, the third thing is speed training. So what usually happens is in the high school weight rooms, they do some semblance of a workout, a lift, and then they'll speed training is completely neglected. And I don't think every athlete technically needs speed training to get faster. I think getting stronger is the lowest hanging fruit, and that should be done first. But for a lot of athletes, especially you're talking about football players and baseball players, it's important. They have to be able to run the 60-yard dash, the 40-yard dash. They got to be able to run on the field. So it's important to do some speed training with them. Now, what usually happens in a high school weight room is they do some type of conditioning, and they call it speed training. So when you train for speed, you have to have full rest on every sprint, or else you are depleting your energy system, and you start to get slower as you go along. So usually what they do is they'll do some type of gassers, or they'll do like 1500s, or if they're really stupid, they'll do miles, run a couple of miles, for football players, which is completely ridiculous. But that's what they call their speed training. Speed training is low volume, very high quality reps, and being coached through. Again, the coaching comes back into it. So at our facility, we don't just tell the kids, okay, go run 10:30s. No, we actually coach them through, and we start from the very beginning. The first session, we teach first step. We tell them exactly what we need to see on a sprint, how their foot should come through, how their thigh should recover, what their knees should be doing, their shin angles, their torso, their lean. From everything from the stance and setup to their first step to the first 5 yards, 10 yards, out to 30 yards is acceleration. Then we get into top speed mechanics, and that's a completely different thing. If it's an athlete that needs speed endurance, that's another thing. So all these components to sprinting, we cover, and we coach them through. We don't just say go run a 10, 20, 30, and 100 or something like that. We actually coach them through the mechanics, the arm swing, their head positioning. So, all these things are really important, and this is how you actually get faster. You don't get faster from getting tired, right? So coaches confuse the two. So again, this is pretty simple, but we have had plenty of videos. We put up plenty of stuff on the actual mechanics of sprinting and what we do, the drills that we do and stuff like that. So I would say that's the big difference. That's number three between Bernardo's training and high school weight room would be speed training, and actually how we coach them through the speed training. We don't just tell them to go do it. Again, that's actually probably a difference between us and a lot of training facilities. I know a lot of these speed schools, they do pretty big classes of speed training, and what they do usually is they'll just go out and run. So, line the guys up. Okay, run a 10. Run a 10, run a 20, run a 20. They don't actually coach them through. If you come to one of our sessions, we do some drills in the beginning to refine mechanics, and then after that, when we do the sprints, I coach them through it. Okay, run this 10, and then when they walk back, I'm telling them we need to see more of this. We need to see we need to see you keep the foot on the ground longer. You need to push through harder with the first step off the front leg, or you need to set up this way. You need to be your head needs to be here. So we coach them through the sprints. The goal is not to make them tired. The goal is to get better, a little bit better at a specific task or specific skill. And that's it.